Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk all about past perfect tense. Now, this is probably a concept you studied in school, and at the time it wasn't that complicated. But it's funny how when we sit down to write a story, whether it be fiction or a memoir, suddenly these seemingly simple concepts can become a little bit more complicated. So today I want to talk about how this concept can help you tell your story and how to know when you need to be using past perfect tense and when you don't. I'll give you a few tips for revision that will make this process super simple, very straightforward, and it will make your story so much more clear. So we use different tenses to tell stories in different ways. The most common way to tell a story is with past tense. They walked. It's very simple. This is a construction you will see in many, many stories. It's becoming increasingly common to see stories written in the present tense. In that instance, we would use the phrase they walk. Writers like to work in present tense because it can feel a little bit more immediate, a little more urgent. This is great if you have a really suspenseful story you want to tell, some kind of thriller. And then finally, we have past perfect tense. They had walked. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So first off, let's just review what is past perfect tense. Past perfect describes an action that happened before another action in the past took place in your story. So the formula for that would be had plus whatever your past participle is. So for example, she had forgotten his name. They had already left when I arrived. By the time the meeting started, everyone had taken a seat. That's the grammar principle. That's probably what you learned in school, and it's absolutely correct. But that doesn't help you when it comes time to revising your story, because it doesn't really indicate whether or not to keep the past perfect or to edit it out. So when you use past perfect tense in your novel or memoir, you are effectively asking your reader to pause and to process an entirely different layer of time. Now, to be clear, it doesn't have to be time that happened many, many years ago. Sometimes people think that this is almost like a flashback, 10, 15 years back. It can be something that happened 10 minutes ago. But the point is, you are asking your reader to envision a different layer of time. And so the question we always want to ask anytime we pull a reader off of where they are right now is it worth it? Is this helping my reader enough to be willing to kind of disrupt what we've got going on here? Or am I just adding an extra friction point that's going to pull them out of the story needlessly and not really accomplish very much? So if you think about past perfect tense as a signpost, its only job is to make sure your reader knows where they are. You're not here, you're back here now. And so, given the fact that we use this tense to make our reader more comfortable, to help them stay situated in the story, we certainly don't want it to hinder that opportunity, right? We want this to be a comfortable experience for the reader. And so, oftentimes, when we go back to do a revision, particularly at the very end stages when you're doing what's called line editing, meaning that the rest of your story is in place, the structure is sound, your characters know what they want and who they are, and all of those big, big pieces. When you get down to line editing, you have an opportunity to make your writing more concise, more clear, more comfortable for your reader. So instead of she had unlocked the door, she had stepped inside, she had searched every room, you might try something like this. She had unlocked the door. She stepped inside. She searched every room. See the difference? Do you see how we are still very clear on where we are on the timeline, but we only need one instance of the past perfect verb here, and then we're all set. And the writing just flows better. It's much less. We're not distracted by extra verbiage, and it can be just a much smoother reading experience. With that said, good editing is always contextual. Nothing I say on this channel will ever be absolute. That's because every situation is different. And sometimes repeating past perfect is exactly the right thing to do. Sometimes you need to continuously remind your readers that the action happened in before the current scene that you're in. There can be lots of different reasons for this. The better question, rather than asking, should this be past perfect? Because that's kind of an ambiguous question. It can be difficult to answer. Instead, ask, does the reader still need this reminder? And I really love this question because it puts your reader right in the forefront of your mind. You're thinking about them. You're thinking about how to take care of them, to give them a pleasurable reading experience. So I like to think about it this way. Beginning writers edit sentences. Experienced writers edit the reader's experience. It's not about grammar. It's about managing your reader's understanding of time. It's about making sure they have enough information to know where they are in your story. And then after that, to eliminating any extra cumbersome words that are just going to feel like speed bumps instead of helpful timestamps. You will almost definitely find places that you can trim. So here's what I hope your key takeaway is. Past perfect tense is a really helpful tool. It can give your writing so much more clarity and really ground your reader wherever it is you want them to be in your story's timeline. But don't overthink it. One or two instances will help them understand where they are. And then after that, after it's finished doing its job, you can trim the rest and you will have text that feels much tighter and flows much more beautifully. If this was helpful, I hope you will hit like and subscribe and stick around. I drop new videos just like this one every single week. And if you were interested in learning more about self-editing, please check out this free webinar. It is all about the tools that I use to evaluate a manuscript. We will give you lots of practical tools and techniques that you can use to start editing your novel or memoir. And you can grab that. I will put the link in the comments section, or you can use this QR code here. And I also want to just take a quick second to tell you about Self-Editing Essentials. This is my group coaching program for writers who have finished or almost finished writing their memoirs or novels and are ready to learn the art of self-editing. If you would like to learn more about this program, please check out the link in the comments section or use the QR code here. And finally, I would love if you would join me for my free writing sprint. We get together on Zoom every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern. It's completely free. It's a chance to just write in community with your camera on or your camera off. I know for me, it's one of my favorite hours of the week. We get so much done there. Please check it out. There will also be a link in the comments section for this group, or you can use this QR code. Happy writing, everyone.